What is going on, YouTube? I am Jerem here. Today we're going to be talking about another crazy solo queue strategy. This is something that Cloud9 actually brought to a lot of people's attention in LCS this past weekend. This is a strategy that has actually existed for a while now, and a strategy that I've wanted to talk about, make a video about for a while, but I never thought it was maybe the best strategy, or maybe it was like a good enough thing to really talk about. But now that Cloud9 has did this no farming SENNA 80 carry strategy, I think now it's time to talk about it. This is again something that a couple months ago people like QtPie were actually playing in solo queue, kind of saying it's like the next Sona Tom Kench or Sona Taric, where you can get the kind of double support in the bot lane, get them both really strong. But now Senna, after she got her 80 carry nerfs to where she is better off not farming, she's better off kind of being that supportive playstyle, I think this strategy actually becomes the strongest strategy for Senna, especially in pro play, but potentially even in solo queue as well. People are pulling this out in solo queue. On the screen right now we have Apollo Price, who is a challenger 80 carry. He's a former professional 80 carry. I believe he plays in Academy right now. But this is a challenger level game, so he believes this is a very good strategy. He is duo with his support. This is a strategy that I would always recommend duoing with. But pretty much, if you didn't see Cloud9 play in the LCS last weekend, if you didn't see their strategy, what the strategy is that you have a tank support who doesn't use a support item, and then you have Senna, who starts out with the sickle support item. The tank support farms, and Senna does not farm. And then you have Senna just collecting a bunch of souls. You have the support farming up, trying to get really tanky, be really strong. And then Senna ends up getting a bunch of souls from the support farming, and then she gets really strong off of this too. And then hopefully you have two really strong people. Senna scales really well with just her souls and can get really massive, and she's getting enough gold from like the sickle support item and stuff to where when she goes a cheap build, that she'll still be strong enough to do crazy damage. She actually still scales really well with this build. The Senna that's like one tap doing people's half of people's health in the late game, that Senna still exists here. And then supports are so strong right now that your support being able to farm up, they become a very reliable tank, and tank supports in Season 10 for some reason are able to kill people, so you still have another like kind of threat, whether in this instance it's Nautilus, but Tom Kench will do, Braum can do it, Galio can do it. In the LCK this weekend they actually did it with Volibear. You have a ton of options, but you do kind of need a tank to keep Senna alive. I at one point kind of thought that you could use maybe a carry support, and since they're farming up, they can become like a second mid laner or something. But then you're just so susceptible to all the damage in Season 10. You're probably going to die. It's tough to pull off like a Brand, Zyra, Vel'Koz, something like that. Because then you just have really two squishy, immobile people in the bot lane, and then you're both just going to be dying the whole game. You have the potential to really carry, but you have the potential to really flop as well. But with a tank, you can keep Senna alive. You can be super strong. You can be so annoying. And the Senna changes to where she gets a soul on 25% of the minions that she doesn't kill. You start to get a ton of souls, and you get crazy range. And then you can be so safe. You start one-tapping people from like outside of Caitlyn's range, which is just really crazy. It's so strong. And then the tank is obviously frontlining for you, making it harder for people to get to you. So you can hit them from a range that they can't hit you, and they can't really even get to you. The strategy becomes really disgusting. And then even into the mid game, Senna starts following around the jungler, and she gets a soul on jungle camps too if she's around them when they die. So then you start getting even more souls so fast, and you can just get an absurd amount of souls really fast into the game with this strategy, just simply by not farming. And again, they want to make Senna a support, so it would make sense if she just went support. But if you go Senna support, then you have two marksmen in the bot lane, and you don't have as much utility and stuff for your team. So this strategy is the way of getting Senna into the bot lane, having that Senna support, all her healing, all her long range damage, all her utility. She has CC, AoE, ult. She has a ton of stuff, and it's a way of getting her into the bot lane while still having enough utility for your team with the tank support. Gives your team a frontline, engage, all that stuff, to where if you just went Senna support, which Riot wants you to do and what they kind of buffed her up for, if you just go Senna support, then your team comp does kind of suffer, especially in pro play, but really I would say in solo queue too. So that's kind of the idea behind the strategy. The rune page that people are taking, everyone is taking Glacial Augment. It allows Senna to get more hits onto champions. Obviously that allows her just to be able to get more souls, to get more poke off and everything. So it's going to be Glacial Augment with Perfect Timing, Biscuits, Approach Velocity, and then most people are taking the Precision secondary, but some people do actually take Sorcery secondary. So if you want to take the Precision secondary, it's going to be Presence of Mind and Cut Down, and if you want to take the Sorcery secondary, it's going to be Mana Flow Band and Transcendence. I think they both kind of do similar things. The Mana Flow Band and the Presence of Mind are both trying to get your mana pool up so you can spam spells, because you are kind of that AD caster type of AD carry. Not really AD caster, but you are throwing out a lot of spells, your Q, your W for the CC. You have a lot of stuff going on, and that does take mana. Cut Down is going to give you a little extra damage, obviously, and then the Transcendence is going to give you a little CDR. It's just going to kind of depend. I think they do have similar win rates, but they're definitely both good, but it just kind of comes down to personal preference. As far as the build, this is going to be Sickle, obviously, at the start. And that's another thing, support items are so good in this season. Since they upgrade themselves, you're just putting a little gold investment, and then over the course of the game, you're getting a huge return from that. It's not that great at the beginning of your initial 400 gold, but as you go into the game, you just get more and more stats for free off of that just from stacking up your support item. And then you do go a relatively cheap build. You're going Umbral Glaive into Yomu's, into Rapid Fire Cannon, and then at that point you're probably going to have to go a Mortal Reminder or a Lord Dominic's Regard as people start to build more armor and stuff. Since you are going lethality, the Armor Pen is so good because it helps your lethality do even more damage. And you just don't want to only have lethality. The Rapid Fire Cannon gives you even more range. It can be really strong. It can be really nice, because that's the whole thing you're going for with this build, is increased range to be able to hit people from a safe range, to be so annoying. And you're just looking to stack up souls, and as you get souls, you just get even stronger and stronger, because obviously the souls give you the increased range, they give you AD, they give you increased crit chance, and then after you have 100% crit chance, they start giving you lifesteal, so you can get so much utility off those souls. So getting all the souls fast you can is what is going to be the best. It's going to be a pretty standard, so I know you're going to max Q into W into E last. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That is this strategy. Again, I would recommend, if you're going to play in solo queue, I think it is strong. People are starting to play in solo queue because this is the best way to play Senna. She can't really AD carry anymore because she gets a soul like 2% of the time on minions that she kills. So if you're farming, you're not going to be getting very many souls. And for Senna to be strong, you really need the souls. If you play her support, you're going to have a weird composition with 2 marksmen in the bot lane. That's just probably not as good as having a support. So by putting her AD carry and by the support farming, you get all the utility, all the usefulness, everything, and it's really good. Also, the Senna, some Sennas don't farm at all. There will be some professional Sennas that have next to 0 CS. Some Sennas will farm 2 minions per wave, because if you only farm 2 minions per wave, you still get full gold. If you get more than 2 minions per wave, you start to get the decreased gold value, because your support item, that's just what the support item does. If you continue to farm, you get less gold since you have the support item. So you can decide if you want to take 2 minions per wave for increased gold, that's fine. That'll get you more items and things, but you will get less souls because you have a less chance of getting souls on minions that you kill. If you don't want to farm at all, that's perfectly fine too, and some people do like that. They don't farm at all, they get increased souls, so that's going to give them a couple more souls. It's just going to give them, in turn, more range, more stats, more crit chance, lifesteal, all of that stuff. It just depends. Do you value the gold and maybe finishing an item at a certain point, or do you value the range? Because range and crit chance and stuff like that, some of that stuff can kind of be hard to put a value on. It depends on breakpoints and stuff, and just your play style and what the enemy team comp is and stuff. So you can kind of decide, do you want to farm a little bit, do you not want to farm at all? They're both very good, valuable strategies that people try and pull out. It just depends what you are going for. But again, that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. This is the no farm Senna strategy. It's been a thing for a while. Cloud9 this weekend maybe popularized it a little bit, especially to the North American audience. People are playing in LCK right now. We're going to see a ton of it on this patch, 10.4. Maybe they're going to nerf it in the future. I think they might. Because I'm sure this isn't how they want Senna played. It seems like they want her played as a traditional support, and this is some kind of like AD carry support hybrid. I don't know. I think it really is this season's Sona Tahm Kench, Sona Taric, whatever, with the double support, double utility bot lane. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets changed in the future, but for right now, I think it is very strong. And we're going to be seeing it a lot in professional play and probably in solo queue for the next coming weeks. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this no farm Senna strat video? Is it something you're going to be trying out? And if you do try it out, let me know how that goes. Definitely subscribe, stay updated on all my latest content. We got tons more strategies, guides like this, news, everything related to League of Legends. Those type of videos coming to you in the near future. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one, but until then, peace.